Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to how to create or clone a database via Rman. All right, it's a pretty straightforward process, and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is I have a file already created with the steps, and it's about 12 steps to actually clone the database, and I have it right here in VI. Well, let's cat the Rman clone. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is register the target database, and our target database in this case is ORCL with the listener, right? And as well as with the TNS names of OR, right? And the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to have to register our duplicate database with the listener and create an entry in the TNS names of OR file. Then we're going to have to bounce our listener. So let's get started with this step first. Okay, so we do SQL plus sys/or at ORCL as sysdba. Okay, no listener. Okay, so let's start our listener, lsnrctl space start master. That's the name of our listener. Okay, so now when I go back and do this, I know that my target database, select name from v$database, is done. So I know like the first step is already done, right? As far as me registering my target database with my listener, and there's definitely a TNS entry. To verify that, we can exit again, and we can go to our Oracle Home /network /admin, and then we type ls, and if we cat our TNS name to OR file, as you can see, we have our entry right there, right? And if we cat our listener, right, we have the listener master that's listening for this database, our target database. Okay, so we know that's done. So now the next thing that we're going to look at is it tells us to register our duplicate database with the listener and the TNS names of OR file, and we're going to call our duplicate database ORCL dupe. So now let's go back in here and type netca. Okay. So now we're going to make a new entry for ORCL dupe. So I'm going to call this ORCL dupe. And same thing. This is new way 01, name of our server. Right, and I know the name of my server by just looking up, right? Just look up or look down. Oracle at, whatever that at is, what's after this app is where you at. Okay, so I hit next. Net service name is ORCL dupe. So we're fine, right? So we finished. So now the next thing that we need to do is we need to register our ORCL dupe with our listener master. So we do net mgr. So I'm going to maximize this. Okay, I'm just going to come here. I'm just going to do this database service name. I'm going to add a database, and we're going to call this ORCL dupe. Okay, so they both look the same. So I'm just going to file, save network, exit. Okay, so we're done there. So the next thing that it tells us to do per our script is, so we've done number one, we've done number two. Okay, so now we have to restart our listener. So to do that, let's do ls and rctl stop master, because that's the name of our listener. And then let's start master. Okay, so as you can see, the master listener, that's the alias, is listening for ORCL and ORCL dupe. Okay, these two things. Okay, so now the next thing it tells us to do, we're now on step number 4, is we have to copy our SP file from the target to our duplicate. Okay, so to do that, so we cd to our Oracle Home /dbs. Okay, so now we want to copy RPW to RPW ORCL dupe. Okay. Now we do ls. So we have the new password file for our duplicate or auxiliary database, right? So that's step number 4. Okay. Pretty straightforward, guys. So now the next thing we need to do is we need to create a P file for the duplicate database from the target, okay? So now the next thing that we're going to do with that is we need to log back into our database, right? So we just do create P file, right? 1 second. And we're going to use our target database. So equals, quote, here's a dollar, Oracle home /dbs /init orcl dupe .ora, right? From SP file, of course. Paste this. From SP file. Okay. Okay. So file created. So now we're going to exit and we're going to do ls again. And as you can see, we have our duplicate database. So now let's go into it. Okay. Right. So that's what that is. So this is our SP file. Okay. So okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to have to change everywhere where it says ORCL. We're going to have to change this to ORCL dupe. Okay, so I'm just going to exit. So Q exclamation point. Okay, so now let's go back to our script. I think that's what the next step is. Okay, so we've copied this, we've created this. So now we need to edit so that all the names of the target is renamed to the duplicate. So now in our command, I have, as a matter of fact, what we're going to do now is we're just going to come over here and we're just going to clear this. And basically what we're going to do is this. We're just going to copy this right here. We're going to come over here, right? And ls. So we're just going to paste this like this. And then we're going to do space init orcl dupe.ora. Okay, that's the name of our file. Okay, what am I missing here? Control C. I just need to put my quote right there. Right, enter. Then I need to do the same thing, but this time I need to do it so that it captures not only lowercase but also uppercase. I'm going to do space and I'm just going to copy this and paste. Okay, so now when I do vi init, let's just make sure that, so basically with this command, this set command does what? Every time that it says that it looks into this file, init orcl dupe, anytime it sees any occurrence of ORCL, it's going to replace it with ORCL dupe, which is what we want. And if it sees any capital letter ORCL, is also going to replace it with ORCL dupe, which is what we want again. So let's press enter. Okay. I am looking and I don't see anything. Okay. So this is ORCL dupe. As you can see, this is ORCL dupe here. ORCL dupe there. ORCL dupe at the end. You have to physically make sure that there is nothing that says ORCL dupe there, ORCL dupe. Okay, so another thing that we need to add is, at the very end, We need to add DB file name convert. We definitely need to add that, and that would be, I'm not sure if I did that. Okay, so DB file name convert. We need to add that to the file. Then we simply do shift star, paste. Okay. Then add that as well. Then we need to add the log file name convert. Okay. We need to add that as well, right? Which is what it tells us to do. So we escape shift colon WQ. Okay. So now that we've done that, let's go back to our script. Okay, so we've added. Okay, so we edited so that we've changed all the names. We add DB file name convert and log file name convert, and we save the file. So now we need to create new entries for the audit, control file, data file, and redo log file. Okay, so now let's come back over here and do select. Obviously we have to log back in. Okay, so now do show parameter audit. Audit. Okay, so this is where our audit file, that's the name, this is where our audit records are going. Okay, so we're going to have to create a new name for that, for a duplicate. So we do select name from $v control file, select name from $v data file. We need to get all these names. Select member from $v log file. Okay, so now that we have all that information, so now let's go about creating entries for these. So we're going to do make directory space minus p, space dash p. Then we're going to do the first one for audit. So we're just going to do, this like this, paste orcl dupe /admin /a dump. Okay, and we're going to do a space there. Then, just to make sure, then we're going to do this for our control files. Dupe / control file space. Yep, we're going to leave it like that in space. We're going to do like this / dupe. Okay. And then we're going to do the ones for the data files. Right, we're going to rename all the data files. Right, or not rename, we're just going to make new entries for the duplicate. Right, and then we're going to do this for the redo log file, or CL dupe. Okay, so we're creating new directories for the duplicate database, right? ORCL dupe admin a dump, aura data, ORCL dupe, and that's for the control file, I believe. App Oracle aura data ORCL, right? And then the flash recovery area, ORCL dupe. Okay, that looks fine. /app Oracle ORCL dupe. ORCL dupe. Okay, let's press enter. Okay, so it's all there. Okay, so now if we cd to admin, type ls, we see ORCL dupe. And if we went here to aura data, home, cd. We type ls, that's there. Went to our flash recovery area. Type cd space, that's there, right? So that's there, that's there. Okay. So we've created directories where we're going to store our control file, data file, redo log files, and audit records. Okay, so and I believe that was step number 8. Okay, so now let us start our auxiliary database via the P file. Okay. Well, actually, I think let's start it up first. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to do SQL plus sys/oracle at orcl dup as sysdba. Okay, so now we're just going to do startup no mount, right? P file equals quote $ oracle home / dbs / init or rcl dup .ora. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Init. Just want to make sure I didn't mistype any. Error where. Okay, so now let us go in and cd. Let's go to our oracle home / init orcl. No, let's just home delete vi and tab enter. No. Okay. So let's delete this guy and press enter. Okay, it's having a problem with something which I can't see. Can't really catch it right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video while I fix this. Okay, guys, so I was able to fix the issue with the P file, right? It was just simply the equal sign. So now we're trying to start our auxiliary database with the P file, right? So we're just going to wait for that to happen. Okay, it's taking a while. So I'm just going to pause the video again and wait till it's... Okay, guys, so it had a problem with the... it came back with a different error, which was memory target not supported on this system. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to VI... I'm just going to edit VI $ oracle home / dbs / init or rcl dup. Okay. Once again, I can type. I don't know why it does that. Delete, enter. Okay, so the memory target, we're just going to remove this guy, and sometimes it just works that way where it just does not like that. So what I do is I'm just going to make this a 0. Okay, and delete that guy. Okay. So I'm just going to escape Shift:WQ. Now I'm going to attempt to log back in again. Now I'm just going to paste this guy again. Okay, paste. Okay, so now I'm just going to pause this video again and fix this. And once I fix it, then I'll let you guys know. Hey guys, so I figured out the problem. So I mistakenly, I created the wrong directory structure. So it's supposed to be /app/u01 app oracle admin orcl dupe and then a dump, right? There shouldn't be an admin here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to paste this and press enter. Okay, so now I'm just going to, because it was screaming at me saying that it couldn't create the audit trail file. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to log back in, right? Okay. So let me shut down. Okay, select open mode from database, right? Database not mounted, but our database is connected, right? So let's shut this thing down again. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to connect again so you guys can see it. So let's exit. We're going to log back in. Now I'm just going to paste. Right? All right. So that was the problem with that over here. What we did before, this should be orcl dupe /a dump, not admin and then a dump. Make sense? All right, so now that that's done, so the next thing it tells us to do in our script is to, let's go back and, okay. So we started our auxiliary database via the P file, okay? So now we want to use our ps.ef. Let us make sure that it is that we have 2 instances running on our server, okay? So to do that, we just simply do, let's exit out of here, and we're just going to do ps-ef grep pmon. Okay. What did I not do? Of course. Space. Okay. So as you can see, we have 2 databases running, orcl dupe. Okay, so we know that we're good to go. So we do SQL plus sys/oracle at orcl at sysdba, dba. Okay, we know that we're running. One thing that we definitely want to do is we want to make sure that our database is in archive log mode. So if I do archive log list, it's in archive log mode, so that's good to go. All right, we definitely want to make sure that our database is in archive log mode. So now if I exit, right, if I exit and I do right, so I'm connected. So I'm connected in the 2 databases, both in our, so if I exit again, right, if I do select open mode from database, right, you can see we're in read write in our target database. Select name from database, right? So we're in our ORCL, right? Okay, so that's that. So now that we've done that, so now we need to start doing the big guys. So now we need to go all the way. Let's see what it tells us to do next. It tells us to, so where are we? Okay, so we've grepped our pmon to make sure that we have 2 instances running on our server. So now using Rman, connect to both the target and auxiliary to make to run our scripts. So now we're just going to copy this guy right here, right? Just going to copy that. And then I'm just going to paste up. Got to get out of that. We're going to exit. And then we're just going to do Rman target sys/oracle at orcl auxiliary sys/oracle at orcl dupe. Okay, awesome. So now that's that. So obviously our database, this is our DB ID for our target, and our orcl dupe is not mounted. So that's good, that's what we want to see. So now we just have to run our duplicate command. right? Which I have already laid out right here. And hopefully everything works fine, right? These things can be really tricky. So we have to kind of work with it, right? And now we're just gonna paste it, okay? So before we start, I just wanna make sure that everything looks fine. Run, allocate channel. Okay, so already I see, let's see. Nope, that's not what I want actually. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna copy this. And now I'm just gonna paste this into, I'm going to VI Rman. I'm just going to paste it in here. I for insert. So I'm just going to come here, put A. Let's just remove this channel 1 guy. And then let's delete this guy as well. Okay. So allocate channel Joe 2, channel auxiliary Joe, duplicate target ORCL, target database to ORCL from active database. Okay, so now that looks a little better. Okay, so now I just want to hit the home button and do run. Press enter. Right? Okay, so everything looks pretty good. So now we're just going to copy and paste it. Now let's see what happens, right? Again, if we get any errors, what I'll do is I'll pause the video and I'll fix it and I'll tell you guys how I fixed it. So let's just paste this and see what happens, all right? Okay, so I'm just gonna pause it. Hey guys, so it's actually completed now. We've been able to duplicate our databases, our database from ORCL to ORCL DUP. So now what we're going to do now is, if we go to our script, so now I'm just going to exit out of here, and I am just going to log back into, if I do select open underscore mode, from $$ database. Okay, so if I do select name from $$ database, right? So this is our ORCL dupe. So if I do select star from scott.dpt, as you can see, if I do select star from scott. Let's say hr.jobs, select star from hr.jobs, right? So these are all the what? These are just some of the basic commands that I'm doing, right? So it lets you know that this is our database. Now we did have to change a few things, right? So let's go back to what we had to change. Okay, so this stayed the same. We didn't have to change anything here as far as the Rman script. However, the one thing that we did have to change that I was having issues with, and let me exit out of here, was, so now let me clear this guy and let me cd here, clear it again. And if we go to our Oracle home /dbs /init vs init o enter ls. Okay, so now let's do vi init. It's been a long day, right? Okay, so what I did have to do was this, right? So at the end of my, so I believe this was what, step 4? Let me open up a new tab and cd enter and vi rman clone, right? So this part right here where it says, yeah, step number 7 was a crucial part for us, right? So instead of you doing this quote ORCL dupe and log file name convert ORCL dupe, you got to be a little bit more explicit, right? So if I log back out here and I log back into, and if I do select name from v dollar data file, right? So this is where all our data files are going to be. U01 app, Oracle, Aura Data, ORCL. So for your DB file name convert, right, which you have to put at the end, you have to be even more specific, right? Because initially we just did this right here. DB file name convert equals that. And we actually didn't even put equal, so that was another problem right there, right? So you have to be more specific, right? And change it to where this is shown right here, right? So you got to do that and put that in here at the bottom. So DB file name convert equals /UO1 app Oracle or data ORCL, and that's going to be converted to UO1 app Oracle or data ORCL dupe. Don't just put ORCL and ORCL dupe. Does that make sense? Right, so that worked for me when I changed that, and that's also the log file name convert, right? So if I do select, let me come back here. So when I do select member from v dollar log file, right? As you can see, they're both located in the same location, right? So in that case, so when you come over here, so we're going to change that and paste that here. This is what the target's location is, and this is what the dupe location is, right? So basically, once you have that in the P file, you just save the file, right? Let me just cue, right? When you save the file, right, and then you run this script to duplicate the to create the duplicate database, right? And everything should work fine, right? Everything should work fine, right? So it's allocate channel. I just call it Joe1, device type Joe2. Then I create auxiliary channels, aux Joe1, aux Joe2, and duplicate target database to ORCL dupe from active database. And as you can see, this is the duplication, and everything worked fine. And at the very end, it's going to release the 2 channels, right? Or all 4 channels. Okay, so that's how you clone your database with Rman. And it's very important that you store these scripts. That you store the scripts, and I'm going to put these online for you guys. That you store the scripts. So if you ever need to duplicate your database, it should not be an issue. You should just be able to copy and paste, and everything should work out pretty much within